expect that the outcome of that process would be beneficial to the institution. So, as a body, we have already made recommendations to the NJC on how we think their guidelines can be tweaked to allow for a more robust, a more efficient process of selecting our judges, because that is the starting point as far as we're concerned. So, as Dr. Ajibade has mentioned, it's about solutions tomorrow, and I think the learned Sarah government alluded to that point. It's about solutions. We're going to bring to the table again our recommendations regarding how we think that process can be structured in a better and in a more efficient manner, so that we look at it this way, we standardize the process. Today, some states, as you know, the process is, for example, for picking judges of our high courts. The JSCs, the Judicial Service Commissions in various states, adopt procedure that they think best for them. Some states subject candidates to exams, some do not. Some just simply shortlist names. We think that process should be standardized. We have gone past the stage, or we have gone past the era where you could just sit down in the comfort of your chambers as a judge and determine which lawyer you think is good enough to be a judge. That could have happened when we had a much smaller profession. But today, it must be a more robust, a more empirical process. So that is one of the things that we're going to be harping on tomorrow. If we're really interested in fixing the system, let us take these prescriptions, let us take it forward and ensure that across board, 36 states and the FCT and our federal courts, we must have a clearly defined process of selecting those who become judges or justices in those courts. So that's one specific area. On the issue of the role that the NBA should be playing, that's the essence of, that's the reason why we are gathered, or we are gathering. And if you remember, Jude, I made it clear that the NBA will not be a rubber stamp in this process. And that's why we have, we're collaborating with other stakeholders. So it's not just the NBA, we're collaborating with other stakeholders who have made it clear that they have more than just a passing interest in how the judiciary functions. They have a track record of performance in this regard and in the work that they have done in this field. So we are not going to be just onlookers in the process. By law, we are participants in this process, and we intend to take full advantage of that privilege, which is why we are chiming in now and again. We are emphatic in our comments regarding how we think this process should run. You have rightly mentioned the intervention with regard to the appointment of a substantive chief judge for Cross River State. The same thing, you may not have heard of all that we did regarding the appointment of a substantive chief judge for Gombe State. We are not just, this is not a don't look MBA. We are definitely part of the process, and we are insisting that the right thing be done. Not just the right thing be done, we're insisting that where improvements are possible, we should improve the process. And that is why we have, at the level of the NBA, we have our Judiciary Committee. We have our nominees at the NJC. The President has just sent the names of our nominees to the FJSC, to the National Assembly. We're hoping that that will receive speedy approval. So in our own ecosystem, those are the individuals, our Judiciary Committee, our nominees at the NJC, our nominees at the FJSC, our representatives on these bodies. We work together to ensure that the process is as optimal as possible. You may have noticed that the Federal High Court has advertised for persons to apply to fill about 15 vacancies. The NBA has been called upon to recommend. We are taking that, we're taking that assignment seriously. It's not business as usual. We will not be recommending persons who do not think are fit for that office. This organization will ensure that those who be put forward are persons who are fit and proper. With even the Supreme Court, there are vacancies there, and they will be called upon to make recommendations, and we will ensure that we do the right thing. So for my own part, we will walk the talk, and we will also ensure that we we hold the feet of our other participants in the process, we hold their feet to the fire and ensure that the right things are done.